Hello fellow YouTubers, in this video I'm going to show you on how to remove this cooler, which is Noctua NH-D14, and how to install back the Intel cooler, which came as a stock cooler with i5 3570K. Now this is quite a long video, guys. Just a little part will be on how to uninstall the Noctua cooler, and the second part will be alternative ending for my previous video for those who have watched. So let's get started. So these are just parts from my previous video. I'm going to just put them away. Put this cooler away for the moment. Okay, so first I can easily remove the fan here, which I'm going to do straight away. And there we go. Might not be as easy to remove the bottom one. I'm going to use the screwdriver to catch on the bottom latch. Nice and easy, guys, without damaging anything. That's it. I know it looked a bit rough, but trust me, I didn't bend any of the fins. And remove the top one as well, and then just simply slide it out, or that should be the theory behind that anyway. Now for those of you who are wondering what the hell am I doing and why I'm removing this cooler, you should watch the previous video or just finish watching this one and you'll know exactly why. Okay, so next I'm going to do 2 screws and remove the cooler itself. After that I'll need to remove the back plate. Nice and easy, guys, no rush at all. I'll do a little bit of one, then another one, back to the top. Hold it a bit just in case it drops. That's it. Top part should be more or less loose. Now it's still holding because the paste is holding it all together, as it should. Okay, try again. Okay, that should be loose now. And there you have it, guys. So pretty easy, right? No resistance, nothing at all. Now I'm just gonna show you a quick close-up, guys, for those who are interested. So there you have it. That's the paste on the cooler itself, and let's go for the quick inside view. I'm gonna zoom in here a bit, guys. There you have it. Okay, and we're back. So little bit of paste here and there. Now if you want to remove the paste that's left, the best solution I could recommend to you guys would be this. I don't know if it focuses on it, but it's basically surgical spirit. Simply put it on the cotton bud or something like that. Wipe it off the CPU, wipe it off the cooler, and clean it with a dry cloth. You know what? I'm actually going to show how it's done, so just bear with me for a sec. Okay, guys, so we're back. This is the Noctua cooler. I'm going to simply take the bottle here with a solution, which is surgical spirit. I'm going to use this just makeup removal cloth or something like that. Looks like some sort of cotton thing. And simply nicely wipe it off. Once one side is dirty, I'm going to use another side a bit. That's dirty as well. And I'm going to use this side now. Okay, that part is done. And then just simply rub off like so. And there you have it, guys. Back to original state. Little bit of marks there because it was obviously pressed to the CPU and all that, so you'll always have this, but that's how it's done. And Next, I'm going to show you how to remove the CPU, and we're going to do the same exact procedure with the CPU. So I'll see you in a sec. Okay guys, so next I'm going to just undo these brackets and holders and everything like that, so I could remove what's left. We'll pick that up later, not to worry. Okay, and the same with the top. Okay, it's done. Next, the spacers. Just take them out nicely. I don't know if that's what they call it, but anyway. Okay, now I'm going to remove the CPU from the socket. Just undo the latch. Oh, look at that, the CPU just drops like that. Okay. Ideally, as you know, you should do this whole procedure with the motherboard tray removed. I'm just going to do it like so. So just put the CPU nicely there. Now the table is all nice and clean, I know that for sure, so it won't dirty up the CPU. I'll come back to you in a sec, guys, and I'm going to show how to remove this solution from the CPU as well. And there we're back. So again, I have the two thingies there to remove the paste. I'm going to use the same solution once again. Take the CPU by the sides nicely. Make sure you don't touch the bottom part. And just clean it off. So use as much of one side as possible. When it's dirty, no point of using it again. Just use the other side. And once again, guys, this thing is pretty cheap, so you don't have to worry if you need to use another of these wipes. Just go ahead with it. Okay. That did pretty nice job there. I don't know if you guys can see, if it focuses enough. Give me one sec. There you go. Nice and shiny. Okay, so that's done. Now just clean it off with a dry one. And this is the final result, guys. As you see, nice and shiny, just like new. So I'm gonna put it back in the socket. I'm gonna show you actually, guys, how it's done, and we'll continue with the installation of the Intel cooler. So just see you in a sec. And we're back, guys. So this is our CPU. We're just gonna put it nicely back inside where it was. Now, for the ease of it, you can twist the case a little bit. Just put it in like so. You can see that it aligns with the two grooves there. Nice and firm. This one back like this. And then simply close it off. Done. Okay, so that's done. Next thing, I'm just gonna unplug the Noctua cooler altogether. Oh, sorry, not the cooler, the fan. These are Noctua parts as well, we won't need them anymore. I'm gonna twist this whole case around. And next, guys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the back plate. So, because everything is already removed from the other side, the back plate should be loose as it is. Let's see, maybe not. I might have forgotten something there. I'm just gonna check it in a sec. Okay. Now, I've come up with a little bit more drastic approach. Now, there you have it. Now guys, be very careful. What I've done there is I've used this so I wouldn't scratch the motherboard, and I didn't twist it or anything like that. So, because if you do that, you'll damage the motherboard straight away. So be very careful. I'm going to use exactly the same method since it seems to work. I'm going to put it like that, hold it with fingers and pull it towards myself, and that's it. Okay guys? Just going to show you there. I hope you guys can see it. There's no scratches or anything on the motherboard, so be very careful removing this, especially with a screwdriver, because you just can simply mess up the motherboard and that won't be pretty. Because never mind the price alone on the motherboard, which could be the most expensive part in your system, but also it will take you quite a bit of time to do everything back again. So I'm just going to use the same solution to clean bits off there. Then I'm going to use the dry one again, just to make sure it's dry. Now this solution might leave some sort of kind of residue, so make sure you clean it off before it dries. So that's it guys. This part is done. Next one is the installation of the Intel cooler, and that's going to be pretty straightforward, because that's the way it's meant to be with the Intel cooler. You don't need to have too much knowledge or anything like that to install it. So that's your retail packaging where your CPU was. Simply remove your CPU, install the CPU, and then you have your cooler, which looks like so. Okay, and the way to position it is, I suppose you can just pop it in, or you could just have a look where your CPU fan connector is. In my case it's somewhere there, so maybe it would make sense if I would position it like so. So okay, and we just simply push the pins in, one, just the one across, just to make sure from the other side. Yep, everything is in. So last bit there is to connect your CPU fan, which in my case it's down below. I'm gonna do it there in a sec, and we're back. So we're just gonna plug it in. And that's it. That's your Intel cooler installed. Now guys, you might want to try to run it, because, sorry, what can happen is this cable that runs around sometimes touches one of the fins. If that's the case, you can simply pop it out of here and here on the top, and then just route it through somewhere else, and in that way you wouldn't have anything interfering with your cooler. So that's it guys. For those who are watching this video simply for removal of the aftermarket cooler and installation of the Intel cooler and 3570K CPU, there's nothing else to it. So thanks guys for watching. If you liked the video, click the like button and subscribe. And for everybody else who continue to watch it for the reason of installation of the hard drives, I'll see you in a sec. Okay guys, and we're back. So there we have my hard drive cage. Now before I do anything with the cage itself, I'm actually going to take the cables provided with the motherboard. These are SATA cables, SATA cables, whichever way you want to call it. And let's see for my power. So I have one, and yep, I have one connection only left, so I might need additional SATA cable. We'll look into that in a sec. So first we're going to connect the SATA cables, and we're going to use the red connections there on the motherboard. Just bear with me for a sec. Okay, so that's the SATA connections installed. Next, I'm actually going to make sure that I have power connections available. I'll come back to you in a sec. And we're back. So just for the ease of it, I'm going to use two cables. This is that I was already connected to the Intel SSD, and I'm going to use additional with the 3 power connectors to SATA because, well, 2 reasons really. One, because I don't have any more with the 2 left, so I have to use the one with the 3. Another one is so in the future, if I want to add an additional drive or 2, I'll have some connections there. Now, the way Intel drive is positioned, you wouldn't have enough room there to connect the Western Digital ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply just slot that back in. Okay, that seems nice and tight. And I'm going to connect all the power connectors and the SATA cables to the Western Digital, and I'll come back to you guys in a minute. Okay guys, quick interruption there. Just before you connect the drives and boot the system up and do the RAID and everything, you might as well have a look at this. So you go to registry editor, so you press the start button and R on the keyboard. You type in REGEDIT, registry editor. Yes, I want to launch it. You go to H key local machine. You go to system. Yeah, you go to current control set. Now you can guys find it on the internet as well. Now this is because I have Windows installed and I need to enable RAID after. So not to mess up the system, I go then to services and I look for the letter I. Let's see. There we go. IA store V parameters. Sorry, just on the IA store V. And you see there reg D word, it has a 3 there on the start. So if I modify it to 0, click OK. Now I can close it down and I shut down the computer. So next thing, I'm gonna physically connect the drives for the RAID and basically start the PC again. So give me 1 sec there. Okay, so next we're gonna go into BIOS. Just keep hitting delete. Now for some reason it started with Z68 or Z68 motherboards, and Z77 is exactly the same. The screen stays for ages and you have to keep clicking delete. It wouldn't accept just single delete press. Now maybe it's because I'm using wireless keyboard, maybe there's some sort of a driver or whatever issue, but it's not great. There we go. So we're there, we go into BIOS. Next we go into advanced, we go to SATA configuration, we check our drives are there, everything's grand. Select the RAID. Now by the way guys, I've reconfigured the drives a bit there physically in the case. I've done the Western Digital RAIDs on the SATA 6 Intel, which is the red connection. And the next up was the black SATA 3. I installed the Intel SSD. Now maybe I should change that to the SATA 3.1. I'll do that a bit later, but just I'll show you the RAID first. So okay, it's gonna appear shortly and you have to press Ctrl I at the same time. Ctrl I, there we have it. So I've already created it before, so let's delete that for the moment. Yes, and I'm gonna create it for you guys again. So create RAID volume, you see all the disks are there. Name it, I'll name it just RAID 1 because it is RAID 1. Now options, you have RAID 0 stripe, which is gonna write to basically alternate between two drives, so it's going to be much faster. But if one of the drives fail, you're pretty much screwed. RAID 1, make sure that you're writing to each drive the same information, so if one of the drive fails, another drive has exactly the same thing. Now next, click tab for the select disks, enter, space to select, so Western Digital, enter, done. The capacity, fine, I won't change anything here, just enter, create volume, yes, so Y, and then that's it. That's done, guys. You can see RAID 1 mirror, member disk, so that's fine. And next we exit, and we hope that Windows boots after the registry change into the RAID mode. And Windows boots fine, there's no blue screen, nothing like that. So you just type in your password and you're back into Windows, voila. So yeah, everything works fine. If you go into my computer, there's nothing there, but nothing to worry there. What you'll have to do is you'll have to go to the manager. So go right click on the computer, manage, and then you go into storage. Let's see if it's here. Yes, you must initialize the disk. There you go. So just click OK, and then you just need to, that's your disk 1, which is my RAID. I can see it by the 1863 gigabytes. So right click on that, new simple volume, next, fine, assign a letter H. You can change the letter to whatever you want. Next, NTFS, fine. Default unit size for the moment, okay. I'm gonna name it backup. Now this name is different. This is for Windows. The other one was for the RAID. So if you add more drives to recognize which is which, perform quick format, next, finish. And that's it. That's your drive created. If you close that, you go back to my computer, your drive appears there. So I hope, guys, that was explanatory enough, and next you can restart the computer. I'm going to see you in a few seconds for the conclusion. Okay, guys, and we're back, so everything's done now. What I've done here is, I don't know, guys, if you can see it, but I put a HDD level, number 1 and HDD number 2 stickers on them. They came with the motherboard. So now I know that this is the first, this is the second. Now I did that because in the future I can know by just looking at the same stickers on the other side, HDD2, HDD1, which is which basically. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The only thing I've done here is I put one cable tie there, so it would make this cable flush, so it would press on this, this and that cable. Okay. And everything went through the top again, same as last time. Oh, sorry, one cable didn't go actually, 1 out of 2. Okay, focus is right. So this cable, I just decided to go up. The reason being is I can only go like by a hard drive somewhere there, but you still would see it regardless. So it doesn't make too much of an effect on the overall look of the system or the airflow. Now the airflow, as you see, would be pretty neat because the air would come in from here, go through the hard drives and out. Now the Intel cooler, I know some of you guys think it's a bit silly to replace Noctua with Intel. Main reason I did that because I don't have any other coolers and I need those hard drives running because I need to back up my data. So the Intel cooler will be just fine since I don't overclock and I don't gauge too much at the moment. This is just GTX 550 Ti. And yeah, guys, that's the setup pretty much complete. So all that's left is just to put the case back together, all the panels and everything, put all the screws back in, and we'll be set to go. And yeah, guys, if you have any questions, leave them at the comment section down below. If you like the video, click the like button, and thanks for watching. Have a nice day.